Hello guys, welcome to another video on this channel. Today we would be bringing you something quite different. We are talking about something quite trending, the case of Peter Nygård and all you need to know about him. Before we go into all that, do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and turn on post notifications for more awesome videos like this. Who is Peter Nygård? Peter Juhani Nygård is a Finnish-Canadian former fashion executive. He founded Nygård International, a company that makes women's apparel. It was founded in 1967. In 2009, he was rated the 70th richest Canadian by Canadian Business Magazine with a net worth of $817 million. He was born on July 24, 1941 in Helsinki, Finland to parents Eeli and Hikka Nygård, who were bakers who immigrated to Canada in 1952, settling first in Deloraine, Manitoba, where Nygård Park would be later named in his honor in 2002. Then they moved to Winnipeg. He graduated from the University of Notre Dame with a business degree. As said earlier, Nygård Apparel Manufacturing Company was founded in 1967 in Winnipeg, Manitoba, with its Canadian headquarters located on King Street in Toronto and its world headquarters in Times Square, New York. His beef with Louis Bacon. The first question on your mind would probably be, who is Louis Bacon? Coupled with a series of why and how he's related to Peter Nygård and in his case. Louis Bacon is the founder and chief executive of More Capital Management. He is also an American investor, hedge fund manager, and philanthropist. He just so happens to be Peter's neighbor. With both of them, it's a case of bad neighbors and they are always on each other's necks. In 2005, Nygård attempted to solve a packing overflow problem at Nygård K by laying down a 15 by 20 foot concrete slab at Louis Bacon's property. Bacon responded to this, suing Nygård and obtaining a court injunction to remove it. 2 years later, in 2007, Bacon installed industrial-grade speakers at the edge of his property and pointed them at Nygård's house. In summer 2010, Bacon's house was raided by 11 Bahamian police officers. Leading to the confiscation of the speakers, Bacon claimed that it was a work of Nygård, a claim he denied. It has been said that Nygård used fake news sites and YouTube videos to smear Bacon as a person who ran as an international drug smuggling operation, a member of the KKK, having been charged with insider trading and being involved in the murdering of the Point House caretaker Dan Tuckfield, after commissioning him to set the fire at Nygård K. In January 2015, Bacon filed a defamation lawsuit against Nygård over these claims. And according to Peter, this recent case that Bacon's fingerprints were all over it. What previous or former lawsuits has he been entangled in? Nygård had previously been entangled in some lawsuits, which may or may not be related to those which he's in now. In 1978, Nygård took over a sportswear designer's business in New York City, which led to a 12-year legal battle in New York federal court. In 1980, the Free Press wrote that Nygård was charged with the rape of an 18-year-old girl by Winnipeg authorities, and because the girl refused to testify, the charges stayed. Later, it was claimed in another lawsuit that Nygård used funds from his companies to pay the said girl off. Around the 1990s, he settled sexual harassment complaints by 3 former employees in Manitoba. In 1999, Nygård sued Lydia Lampus for defamation concerning her comments about Nygård's parties with naked women. The case would continue till 2001, with Lampus starting that she had stated the funds had been used to settle. The settlement consisted of publishing an apology in the newspaper Lydia Sanoma. In 2003, he was sued in Florida by an American couple who claimed they were deceived by him into accepting jobs as managers of his Bahamas estate. The case was settled in 2007. In 2005, after Finnish newspaper Illidia published an article about sex parties at Nygård's mansion, even featuring a short interview with Jessica Alba where he had set to leave a party at the Nygård K mansion, she was there filming Into the Blue. Because of the immorality with the younger woman going on, Nygård sued the parent company of the paper Alma Media for slander in Los Angeles. He lost the case. In 2006, Canadian tax authorities claimed Nygård unreported $15 million in taxes. Nygård argued that he had served residential ties with Canada in 1975. He was ultimately subject to taxes on an unreported $2 million. In 2008, Nygård was sued in Los Angeles Superior Court by an old girlfriend for slamming a door on her hand. Nygård promptly resolved the lawsuit. In 2012, Nygård launched a lawsuit against the CBC regarding copyright issues about private videos taken at his residence, which were then used in an April 2010 documentary. He had also launched a copyright claim with the U.S. District Court in New York and a lawsuit in Manitoba to prevent the piece from airing. He had previously sued 2 former employees for releasing confidential information, and his lawyer claimed CBC harassed many of the employees. Nygård launched a civil suit against his neighbor and the Lyford K Property Owners Association, alleging they had conspired with the CBC to damage his reputation. He had also filed a private criminal prosecution against 3 CBC journalists accusing them of conspiring to deceive him and his clothing empire. In 2015 and 2017, Nygård was looked at by the FBI over claims of sex trafficking. He was also investigated by the United States Department of Homeland Security for 9 months in 2016. In 2008, Nygård K was seized by the Supreme Court of the Bahamas as part of a legal battle surrounding Nygård's efforts to dredge the seafloor around the estate. In 2019, a warrant was issued after Nygård failed to appear in court multiple times for sentencing hearing related to 2 contempt of court convictions in the Bahamas. In September 2019, the New York Times was caught up in the feud between Nygård and Louis Bacon. The suit claims that the reporters from the paper tried to steer the individuals to provide information to fit a story, and that the reporters wanted to bring down Nygård. On November 15, 2019, a judge at the Bahamas sentenced Nygård to 90 days in prison and fined him $150,000 after finding he breached a court order prohibiting the disclosure of emails that were stolen from a nonprofit group. On November 24, 2019, Bahamas police began investigating 6 allegations of rape made against Nygård. All the alleged victims were under 16. What accusations have been made against him now? Earlier into the week, Monday, Canadian police arrested Nygård in Winnipeg, Manitoba, at the request of the U.S. government under the country's extradition treaty. He had been charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and other crimes targeted dozens of women and underage girls over a quarter century in 3 countries, U.S. authorities said on Tuesday. Acting U.S. Attorney Audrey Strauss in Manhattan said Nygård, 79, had since 1995 used his influence and businesses to recruit and maintain victims in the U.S., Canada, and the Bahamas to sexually gratify himself and his associates. Nygård made an initial appearance in a Winnipeg court where he wore a white face mask and a gray sweatshirt and sweatpants, with his long white hair pulled back in a bun. Elcom Arboritz, a New York-based lawyer for Nygård, declined the Reuters and Associated Press news agency's request for comment. Authorities claim that the victims were assaulted by Nygård or his associates with some drug to ensure that they met his sexual demands, and that Nygård often targeted victims who came from disadvantaged backgrounds or had suffered abuse. The 9-court indictment said Nygård used multiple means to recruit victims. These allegedly included company-funded pamper parties named for their free food, drink, and spa services, and held at his properties in Marina del Rey, California, and the Bahamas. The indictment said Nygård took some victims, he called them girlfriends, to swingers clubs where they would be intimidated into having sex with other men to felicitate Nygård having sex with other women and for his own sexual gratification. Nygård also used his threats of arrest, reputational harm, and lawsuits to silence potential accusers, the indictment said. His arrest on sex trafficking charges came from the U.S. federal authorities raiding Nygård's Manhattan offices in February. The FBI raid occurred after 10 women sued Nygård, saying he enticed young and impoverished women to his Bahamas estate with cash and promises of modeling and fashion opportunities. Several plaintiffs in the suit filed in New York City said there were only 14 or 15-year-olds when Nygård gave them alcohol or drugs and then raped them. Nygård had denied all allegations and blames on conspiracy caused by the feud with his billionaire neighbor, Louis Bacon, in the Bahamas. On February 25, 2020, Nygård stepped down as chairman of Nygård International after its headquarters was raided in connection to the sex trafficking claims. The company filed bankruptcy in New York on March 18, 2020. And a Manitoba judge ordered a group of Nygård companies onto its receivership on March 19, 2020. On April 30, 2020, a Canadian judge gave the green light to an accounting firm to sell and liquidate part of the business empire. The park named in his honor in 2002 has since been removed in light of his extradition. This is all we do know now about the news at the moment. Don't forget to leave comments on what you feel has been left out or your views. Also, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you get notified the moment we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.